Thank you all for coming. We'd like to welcome all the clubs, all the members, all their guests, special guests. Today we have 5 different clubs performing up front here. But we'd like to recognize the other clubs that are also in the villages here. The Strummers Ukuleleans, headed by Betty Kamang. She's not here, she's in California. But she's represented very, very well by Diane Lucas. And the rest of you that are here, thank you. Then we have the Trop Rock Ukulele Club headed by Steve Larson. That's a spin-off of the Hardheads. Thank you. Gotta remember, I'm 81. And then we have the Strum for Fun Club headed by Jim Benner, who just happens to be Martha Kenny's brother. I almost said sister. Is he, Jim, are you here? Okay. And finally, our newest and very popular Peace, Love, and Ukulele Club headed by Mary Shaw and her husband. Great. You can look up their schedules in the Thursday rec news. We won't go into that right now. Okay, this all began, and one more thing. This shirt I'm wearing, it's a little big. I weighed 195 back 10 years ago. Now I weigh 194. So anyhow, this all began in 2008. The Recreation News had this little article about a ukulele club that was starting at Chula Vista. And there were about 6 people that had been there before Barbara and I showed up. And that guy's name that was running that club was, it wasn't really a club, it was just a meeting type thing. His name was Charlie Maggard. So anyhow, that's where myself and Barb and Dick and Martha met, and that was the start. So I immediately started a little performance group that just consisted of the 4 of us, and we actually did shows. We called ourselves the Silver Strummers because Barbara had brought all these music stands that you see up here from Texas, and we said, well, we'll call ourselves the Silver Strummers.
My husband actually made 36 of them, but I brought only 7 with me.
Barb was in a big group in Texas. You know, Texas, everything's bigger. So anyhow, we are still performing as the Silver Strummers, and you see most of them up here, except for the guys that are wearing these shirts. Except I'm still the leader, thank God, or maybe possibly. But in a few statistics, in the last 10 years, we did 38 shows in 10 different rec centers, including the Sumter Landing Sales Office, the Savannah Center. We did a USO show at the American Legion, and we did the Christmas parade at the Polo Grounds. We also did 78 shows, 3 different churches, 11 different senior residences and nursing homes. And these shows were in Eustis, Ocala, Wildwood, Summerfield, and of course the villages. In the last 5 years, the Silver Strummers Club has donated over $1,100 to 2 different charities. And 2 years ago, the Banjolele Club, headed by Bob Martino, raised over $6,000 in one concert. That was at Hope Lutheran Church. Okay, Barb.
Well, where I came in was, when we started out, we all knew how to play. But then people started coming in the door and wanting to play, and there was nobody was teaching or anything. So I would take them in the back room. I had 4 the first time, and then it started to grow. There was a big demand. So I started in 2008 also the first beginners club at Odell, the 3-chord wonders, because we only knew 3 chords. We know a few more now. But anyways, in that beginners group, it was amazing because Rita Dorito, I know a lot of you know who she anyways, she used to take a bus and come over every time and take a bus home, but she thought, well, there's more to a ukulele club than this, you know. And so she started not but one, but 3 clubs. So that was a spin-off from my group. And then in that same group was Mike Ryan. Everybody knew who Mike was. He and his wife played ukulele together. I mean, they had one ukulele between them, and they would split. And so finally, she liked golf better, so she went golfing, and he started singing, and he started the club. And then, of course, on Tuesday night, this man would come up to Chula Vista, and he didn't have a ukulele, and he always wore this hockey cap because he was cold. He'd sit in the corner, and he would sing all the time. He had a beautiful voice, and that was Warren Webb. And so he didn't have a ukulele, but Wayne shamed him into getting one, so I taught him at my kitchen table, and he started the club. So, I mean, it just kept growing and growing, and I started one at my church. I taught 24 people at my church, and we do nursing homes, and and the beat goes on. It's just been wonderful. It's been a great joy for me just to look out and see all the people even that I taught. So.
One thing, I'd like to correct the article that was in the newspaper on Thursday. It said I didn't know how to play when I got here. I've been playing since 1990. I was in a band in Waikiki and Honolulu. Okay, our first honoree, Dick Gordon. Okay, he's up there on the screen, sitting on the left front row. Dick was one of our 4 original silver strummers. He was an excellent singer, ukulele player. He played a baritone, but he could also play all the other ukuleles too, and he also played a banjolele. He died in May of 2017. He was also an important part of a very popular village's barbershop. And he also, Barbershop Quartet, he also belonged to the National Society. And there's a group, I think, right here in the Villages. He was a retired dentist from Syracuse, New York. And his brother told me that he was very generous with his medical practice with all his family that lived in the area there around Syracuse. And when he was in dental school in Philadelphia, he needed a real live person to work on to do a cavity. And his brother just happened to have a cavity, and Dick told him to save it for me. So anyhow, I asked him if it hurt, how did he do? He said he must have injected him a lot because he couldn't feel his face for a week. You know how that goes, Mark. Where are you, Mark? And then the other thing, Dick was always popular with our audiences. He was always telling jokes, talking to the audience, and before we'd start, he'd play some of his weird songs that he liked to do. This woman came into his office. She was pregnant, and she was having a root canal. She was real nervous and scared, and she told Dick she'd rather go through the pain of natural childbirth than have a root canal. So Dick said to her, "Let me know so I can adjust the chair." Another time, Dick and his wife were walking through Waikiki, and they were arguing about how to pronounce Hawaii. Do you pronounce it Hawaii or Hawaii? So they came across a native coming towards them, and Dick asked the guy, "How do you pronounce it?" And the guy said, "Hawaii." Dick said, "Thank you." And the guy said, "You're welcome." Well, that's about all I've got to say about Dick. He was a lovely guy, and we miss him.
And the other one in our original group we lost just this last February, Martha Kenny. She went to Maine last summer, like she did every summer, and she was a private person, so we didn't know her health issues. But anyways, she came back and we thought everything was fine. She was even at our Christmas party this last year, looked wonderful, and like I said, it was worse than we thought. She died in February of this year, and we still miss her. In fact, she went to Maine every summer, and I actually expected her to come back again when the club started up again. Martha told me that she learned to play the ukulele in college, and before retiring, she was a dental assistant and hygienist. She knew a lot of people, and she was a people person. She lived in Villa Berea, where she was very active. She had her hands in everything. She was involved with the New Jersey Club for at least 5 years and was secretary and treasurer of a couple of the clubs here in the villages. And anytime that she'd open her house for practices and parties and meetings, and she even stored the sound system under her bed and gave anybody the key that needed to get into the house. She was just a love. And we still miss her, and there's still that void. It's still fresh in our minds, but thank you.
Okay, our next honoree is David O'Dwyer. Some of you might not have known him. He was sort of a quiet person. We don't really know a lot about David, but I'll tell you what I do know. He died in August of 2017. He was with us quite a few years with the Silver Strummers. He was a good singer, good ukulele player. He switched over to playing the bass ukulele, and I believe he was the very first bass player in the villages with an ukulele. Not sure about that, John, but it was quite a while ago. One of the songs he used to sing was Waltzing Matilda. And it used to drive me crazy because it was a real long song, and he wanted to do that in our show, and we always tried to get a lot of songs, a lot of singers, but he loved that song. A few years ago, he traveled to Israel and was a volunteer in the Israel Defense Force. Quite amazing. We don't know all the details about that. He was a vegetarian. He always appeared to be in real good shape. I always envied him. He had such a flat stomach, as opposed to me. He had 2 sons, and the one son was quite an accomplished musician. In his later years, he did even more traveling, but then the cancer caught up with him, and he was gone. We miss him. That's it, man. Next honoree.
Come on over. You can come over to our side. This is the Strummers song. Barbara started the Strummers, as she said. And she had with her groups for 10 years. She didn't get quite perfect attendance. She did miss 2 times in that entire period. Once with shingles, we can understand that, and the other one was she lost her husband. And 2 times. That's what we're going to do. And so when she asked me to take over this year, I said, well, we'll just swap seats. You know, she can sit in the audience and they can have me, and I said, but she's been great. She's probably picked out, I think, the best songs of any of the clubs and villages, and they're all ones that we like. Haven't changed much here, but we're a little more. But we've got a couple of things for you.
What we did is, in honor of the 10-year anniversary, we could think of nobody who had touched so many ukulele players or so many people through the villages through this program than Barbara. So we sent a little note in to the villages, and they responded with a certificate of appreciation. And of course, she received the coveted gold pin, well, plastic, Parks and Recreation honorary pin. Also, It seems to be a tradition in the villages to give cards. Something happens, they get a card. Mary puts a dent in her golf cart, she gets a card. Bob has a colonoscopy, he gets a card. Bob retires, she gets a card. And we'd like to thank Diane for taking care of this for us, and we'd like to thank you all for your generosity. Now, another little thing we did is on retirement, we know everybody gets a plaque. So we got a plaque for Barbara, and I'll read it. I don't know where you're going to put it, but I'll read it. It's red, and thank you all for wearing red. We just wanted to show everybody how many people were touched by Barb's generosity, her dedication, and her hard work through the 10 years, and keeping the clubs in order so that you can come, sit, and enjoy it, and have a good time playing in a consistent environment. Presented to Barb Hanson in appreciation for your devotion, dedication, teaching, and leadership. You have given the Hummers and Strummers Ukulele Club and the entire village's ukulele community over the last 10 years. Thank you from all your friends at the Hummers and Strummers and the village's ukulele community. You make every quote, great day in the village's unquote even better.
It has been for me. And about 25 years ago in Texas, they had a bulletin in the church paper, and it said, if you always wanted to play a musical instrument and you can't read music, we want you. I still can't read music. I don't know anything about music, but God gifted me with those 3 chords. And so I'm just so grateful. Thank you, everybody.
Our next honoree is Warren Webb. Warren, you can sit there and come up. Thank you. Round of a standing ovation for Warren Webb. Our next honoree, Warren Webb. Where do we start? I never thought he was that good of a singer. He always had confidence in everybody else. I met Warren as we attended probably 6 ukulele clubs a week, or other folk singing or whatever. And we ended up in Rita's group together. It was Thursday morning, and we each get tossed out. I was only tossed out twice, but how many times did you get tossed out? Yeah, and Gil set the record. I think Bud came in second on that. What happened eventually is Rita decided to move on, and it just shows you how important the day and time of the club is. Because the 12 of us sat there saying, we can't give up our Thursday afternoon. So we said, hey, we'll go and see if we can put in for a club. So we got the application, we sat at the table, and it came time, who wants to sign? I don't want to sign. I don't want to sign, I'm not going to sign. Warren signed it. Warren's our leader. And then we sat down and we said, where are we going to go with this? And we knew where we didn't want to go. So we tried to sit there and establish some core values that would be inclusive of new players, get enough time where we could teach them, get enough energy so that we could keep the club going, and make it easy for people, copy Barb's boilerplate songs, people could come and be very familiar with, and be very comfortable singing and playing. So we started out, the original name of the Ukulele Players Club was Ukulele 101. We changed that to Ukulele Players Club because they wouldn't put Ukulele 101 in the newspaper. It started out, 12 of us sitting at a table, and our innovations were unbelievable. We started with a projector. We started making our own music. We started using our own format so that it could be read on the screen. People could come and they didn't need a book. The music was on the screen. Jeannie transcribed all the songs that we were playing into one single format. It went on to a songbook. The songbook wouldn't change. We only change it once a year, keep the work down. From there on, it just started to grow. Whatever people wanted, whatever member would come up with an idea, if we could do it, we would do it. We established enough time. Warren made sure that we had 3 hours so that we could give time to our new people. Yep. So everyone would get up. As we'd sing, Warren would walk around with the microphone, and you'd be sitting, strumming, and all of a sudden the microphone would land in your lap, and Warren would say, "Sing." You remember that, don't you, Bob? We started giving lessons. Now we have Claire, Vinny, Dennis. Excellent. Less people are coming earlier. We had a front load time. We were starting at 1 o'clock. Now we start at 11. And we just kept going and going and going. And one of the things we were able to do is start a performance club. Our first performance was at Bobby Pomeroy's 39th birthday. It was 5 of us. Moved on. Our next performance was at the Latin Dance Club, where they merengue to "You Are My Sunshine." They were members of our club, and this is the way we started. Jeannie ran it for a while. We were doing well. Our classes improved. Everything went along. Warren made sure that we tried to keep everybody informed what was going on. We started our newsletter. When we went to our webpage, we had 420 people addresses for the newsletter. We added more singers to show you how well the Performance Club has done. For 3 years, we performed at the Music Lover Showcase at Savannah. In all 3 years, we have over 40 people strumming and singing. And that's a testament to Warren's idea of growth and the core values. Just make it simple, and keep it growing. Dennis took over the Performance Club, and it was Dennis and Warren that got together, and we were invited to the Summer Youth Camp. We've done that for 3 years, all part of the Ukulele Players Club, and it's a testament to Warren that it was the idea of growth, sharing the ukulele. And the stories that can come out of that, again, we've been invited to Royal Youth Young Artists Workshop this January down in Wildwood to do our summer camp. Warren and his ukuleles. Every club he went to, he always had 2 ukuleles. He'd give them to somebody, play. Anybody got a ukulele if they were sitting behind. Now we have over 40, and we just got 12 more from Cordova on a grant that Cordova Cares. 12 are over here if you want to take a look at it. Again, Vinny's Rock Shop. We're the only club that takes out of the book. And Warren started this. We go out of the book. 150 songs in 10 months. 15 a month. Where we'll put them on the wall and people can pick any song they want. They tell Vinny. And that's the way it goes. In our club, Warren has utilized at least 8 or 9 people. He doesn't require, he inspires. And he'll show up, he showed up early. I would get here at 10:15. The cart with the dragon would be out in the back. He's always the first to come, always the last to leave. And that inspires us all. Dennis now is the same way, Gene, myself. Please just keep growing. And all we're doing is following the boilerplate that Warren set up. Just sit, strum, smile, and sing. Now, there's one other rest, and that's share. An important part of the lessons, and one example, we have Frank here. Frank, no? Frank?
Yes.
Frank comes every week, and he sits there and he strums. His granddaughter came last year and performed at one of our shows. She performed with us. Lovely young lady, great voice. Frank sits there and strums. Facebook page, there she is singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And there's Grandpa sitting behind her strumming. Perfectly. In time, in tune, in rhythm. What a magnificent thing to share. All right, and 4 years ago, he didn't play. So if we just keep at it, we just keep trying to help new people come, we should be able to get a lot more people to these other clubs. Warren, come on up. We have a plaque for you in his favorite color, blue. In grateful appreciation for your guidance, dedication, and leadership given to the Village's Ukulele Players Club, your commitment to the core values of the Ukulele Players Club has led to the success and growth of the club and the entire Village's ukulele community. Thank you from all your friends at the Ukulele Players Club and the Village's ukulele community. And of course, we have the opportunity in red, his favorite color, or Barb's favorite color. You want to say something?
Thanks very much, Tim. Appreciate all those wonderful words, and I love all you guys. Good to see you.
Now, as we go around, if you want to put the taking the Warren's up here, okay, we'll be able to please a standing ovation for Warren West.
Good afternoon. I'm really honored to talk to you this afternoon about Mike Ryan. Mike was the founder of the Banjolele Strings Club, and he was also an active member of the Village's Ukulele Club, the Silver Strummers. He was an active member of the Hummers and Strummers, and also the Village's Banjolele Club. After Barb Hanson passed the leadership of which she was leading the Village's Banjolele Club, I think she started it, and after she turned the leadership of that over to Bob Martino, the club kind of evolved into pretty much a strictly performance type club. And there were a lot of people that didn't really want to perform anymore, but that's the direction it went. And Mike and I were in that club together. We did a lot of gigs, really great gigs with that club that were always fun, and Mike's songs were always a highlight of those gigs. He always started the gig. The first song in every gig was he'd sing the song Hello in his best Jimmy Durante impression, and audiences just loved it. It was always great. But Mike saw the need for a more casual banjolele club, one where the people that didn't really want to perform all the time, they just wanted to get together every week, spend an hour, play their instruments, sing their songs, and have a good time. So that's when he started the Banjolele Strings Club. And he put together a great little songbook. Music in it is very varied. Every genre is covered. And the club still meets every week. We sing his songs for an hour, and we just have a good time. But Mike was taken from us suddenly and unexpectedly on May 8th in 2015, died of a heart attack. And those of us who were privileged to know Mike just loved the guy. He had an infectious smile, wonderful sense of humor. He was just fun to be with. When he entered a room, he'd stride in with that grin on his face and his Gatsby hat turned backwards, start shaking everybody's hand and telling them how glad he was to see you. You always just loved hearing him sing. Not because he had a voice like Sinatra. You just love to hear him belt out a song with that gravelly voice of his and all so much enthusiasm. Any of you who were lucky enough to hear his rendition of Ghost Riders in the Sky, I know will never forget it. Mike Ryan was one of my very first close friends in the Villages when I moved here in 2013. I miss him dearly, and I know a lot of you also do. His spirit is alive, and it's with us every week at Ukulele Strings Club. And I know he's with us here today, smiling. We love you, Mike. We always will.
Thanks, Mark. I would like to introduce the original Silver Strummers. Okay, our first song is Blue Hawaii. Okay, we're going to be doing a hula with this one, so anybody that wants to help with this hula, please come up. Night and you and blue Hawaii. The night is heavenly, and you are heaven to me. Only you and blue Hawaii. With all this loneliness, there should be love. Come with me while the moon is on the sea. The night is young, and so are we. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii. And I could all come true this magic night of nights with you. Come with me while the moon is on the sea. The night is young, and so are we. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii. And mine could all come true this magic night of nights with you. I forgot to mention, that was Dick Gordon's favorite song. Okay, our next song features all the women. Where am I going to live when I get home? You'll have this. In the microphone.
Martha would always start the song in this way. I'd like to dedicate this song from my dear departed husband. He's not dead, he's just departed. Where am I gonna live when I get home? My old man wrote out everything I own. He meant what he said. He wished that I was dead. So where am I gonna live when I get home? I knew our road was getting kind of rocky. Said that I was getting way too cocky. Waited till I was gone. He packed from dusk to dawn. So where am I gonna live when I get home? Everybody now, where am I gonna live when I get home? My old man wrote out everything I own. He meant what he said. He wished that I was dead. So where am I gonna live when I get home? He decided he would keep my cat. My transportation, I would be needing that. He kept my TV, the bills he gave to me. So where am I gonna live when I get home? Where am I gonna live when I get home? My old man wrote out everything I own. He meant what he said. He wished that I was dead. So where am I gonna live when I get home? Where am I gonna live when I get home?
Okay, our next song is My Blue Heaven, featuring myself, Jeannie, Vicky, and Ed. Come on, Ed. When the whippoorwills come.
Thank
Hey, Wayne, can you believe that we've been side by side for the last 10 years and we're still speaking?
That's because we're not married.
Speaking of that, I hear you just got married again. Is that true?
I got married last Friday. We got married last Friday. My new wife stood beside me. And much later on, when the folks were all gone, we stood side by side. Now we were glad we were wed then. We got ready for bed then. Her false teeth and hair she placed on that chair, side by side. One false arm to follow, one glass eye so small. She slowly unscrewed her lower left leg, placed it on the chair by the wall. Now I stood there broken hearted. Most of my wife had departed, so I slept on a chair. There was more of her there, side by side. Hey everybody, oh we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're acting funny, but we travel along, singing a song, side by side. Oh, we don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's like sorrow, but we travel along, singing a song, side by side. Through all kinds of weather, what if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. When they all have the world and parted, we'll be the same as we started. Just travel along, singing a song, side by side, side by side. Okay, our next song features Barbara, myself, and Jeremy and Ed. We used to sing this song just about every show when we first started out. And Jeremy over here would wear a black wig that Barbara had. And, no, I still have it. And sing it in falsetto. And not quite as good as Tiny Tim, but the audience has got a good charge out of it.
I thought it was better.
Well, there we go. Tiptoe to the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of the willow tree. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. In flowers we'll stray, we'll be the showers away. And if I kissed you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe to the Thank you, and now we have all the women. That's Vicky and Jeannie and Barb doing a familiar tune that you all know, Back in Aloha Land. Okay, so for our final number, we have myself and Barb and Ed and Jeremy and Jeannie. You're there. We're going to do All My Loving. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day. And I'll send all my love to you. I'll pretend that
I'll pretend that I'm kissing the lips I am missing, and hope that my dreams will come true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my love to you.
That's it for the originals. Okay, our first song, and this is our next group, our current Silver Strummers. We're going to start off with California, Here I Come, with Linda, myself. This was David's, another favorite of David's, one of his songs that he generally did at most of our shows. California, Here I Come. Okay, our next song features Marilyn and Bill, and myself, and Jackie. And it is no secret. A child of my great holiday, another day is through. But that love was that someone new. You may have longed for that its rain, your courage to renew. Do not be disheartened, for I go to There Gene, Linda, myself, and Bobby.
Am I cold? Am I cold?
I feel so sad I got a worried mind. I'm so lonesome all the time. Since I left my baby behind on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine. Looking forward to happier times on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, gonna be on Blue Bayou. When you sleep all day and the catfish play on Blue Bayou. Where the fishing boats with their sails afloat, if I could only see that familiar sunrise to sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be. Gonna see my baby again, gonna be with some of my friends. Maybe I'll be happy again on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, gonna stay on Blue Bayou. Where the folks are fine and the world is mine on Blue Bayou. I met a girl of mine by my side, the silver moon and the evening tide. Oh, some sweet day, gonna take away this hurt inside. Well, I'll never be blue, my dreams come true. I'm Blue Bayou.
I forgot to change my shirt.
Hubba. Take it off, take it off. Now put it back on.
I wondered why it was so hot. Okay, our next song is I Walk the Line, featuring Bobby, Johnny Cash, Rockin' the Whips. And Linda, myself, and Carol. I Walk the Line.
I keep a close
Once on this heart, I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the end of one silent mind. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very
Okay, our next song features all our women with a song that they also do at the Ukulele Players Club, Do Run Run.
Oh, we got this one. Hello, County Girls. Never mind a Monday and my heart's so thrilled. And you run, 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 and you run, run. Somebody told me that the day was through. And you run, 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 and you run, run. Yeah, my heart's so thrilled. Yeah, the day was through. And when you walked me home, and you run, 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 and you run, run.
I used to call them the girls, but I call them the women now. The ladies, I guess we should say. Okay, our next song is Cruising Down the River, featuring Pat and Char. And Linda and I are going to help out a little bit.
Cruising down the river on a Sunday afternoon, with one in the sun above, waiting for the moon. Oh, the chord is playing a sentimental tune. Cruising down the river.
Okay, our next song is Blue Hawaiian Moonlight, featuring myself, Linda, and Bobby.
Blue Hawaiian moonlight shining over the sea. Guide me to the island where I'm longing to be. Blue Hawaiian moonlight, find the one I adore. Spread your magic love. Guide my ship to the shore. When the night is falling, I'm in deep reverie. When I hear you calling, oh please come back to me. You know I'm yearning, hope my dreams all come true. I'm depending on you. When the night is falling, I'm in deep reverie. When I hear you calling, oh please come back to me. You know how I'm yearning, all my dreams all come true. Blue Hawaiian moonlight, I'm depending on you. Blue Hawaiian moonlight, I'm depending on you. Thank you.
Okay, our final tune this afternoon is St. Louis Blues with me and Carol.
I hate to see that evening sun go down. I hate to see that evening sun go down. 'Cause my baby, she's gonna let this town. Feeling tomorrow like I feel today. If I feel it tomorrow like I feel today, I'll pack my car and make my getaway. St. Louis woman with the diamond ring pulls a handle around by her apron string. If it weren't for powder and for store-bought hair, that gun I love would have gone nowhere, nowhere. I got the same Louis blue, just as blue as night can be. That guy's got a heart like a rock cast in the sea. Or else she would not gone so far from me. Maryland.
Frank, where's Frank? Frank M. Thank you, Frank. Our bass player has switched sides here. All right, so we're starting off with your 60, you're beautiful in your mind, and Bill's going to lead us with this one.
Oh, you come on like a dream, peaches and cream, lips like strawberry wine. You're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine. You're all red, girl, what a girl, eyes that sparkle and shine. You're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine. You're my baby, you're my pet. We fell in love on the night we met. You touched my hand, my heart went pop. Ooh, when we kissed, we could not stop. You walked out of my dream and into my arms. Now you're my angel divine. You're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine. Oh, you come on like a dream, peaches and cream, lips like strawberry wine. You're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine. You're all ready, girl, oh what a girl, eyes that sparkle and shine. You're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine. You're my baby, you're my pet. We fell in love on the night we met. You touched my hand, my heart went pop. Ooh, when we kissed, we could not stop. You walked out of my dream and into my arms. Now you're my angel divine. You're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine. Oh, you're 60, you're beautiful and you're mine.
All right, Mark is now going to lead us in Sweet Carolina. Marilyn and Barbara spent an entire summer getting this one right so we would know how to do it.
I can begin to know you, not that I know it's growing slow. But in the spring, and spring became summer, would I believe you'd come along? Touching your hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good nights never seem so blue. So good, so good, so good. I've been inclined to believe in the wood, but now I
Next, we've got Bill again with On the Road Again.
Road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. My love is making music with my friend, and I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. And I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. We're best of friends, insisting that the world keep turning our way. And our way is on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Right, my love is making music with my friends, and I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. The gypsies, we go down the highway. We're best of friends, insisting that the world keep turning our way. And our way is on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Though my love is making music with my friend, and I can't wait to get on the road again. And I can't wait to get on the road again.
All right, now our other Mark is going to lead us in Only You.
Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you alone can thrill me like you do, and fill my heart with love. Only you.
next song is Beyond the Rain, and the first time I ever heard it was Mike Ryan singing it at a retirement home when we went with Barbara. And unfortunately, not too long after that, we lost Mike, and I just thought it was a song we couldn't lose. So, Beyond the Rain. When the sky is getting dark, clouds are moving in, when the storms of life in our hearts just let our Savior in. For when we trust in Him, He will lead us beyond the beyond the rain, there we know no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the we live our lives alone, trying to make it on our own, still we're hiding and emptiness remains. If we hold on to God's hand, He'll lead us to a land where His sun will always shine beyond the rain. Beyond the rain, there'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. The battle has been won. God sent His only Son to fulfill the promise of His name. The darkness we believe, for the gift we will receive to live with Jesus beyond the rain. Beyond the rain, there'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. He will lead us beyond the rain. All right, we're going to finish up with Frank singing and whistling Sweet Georgia Brown.
Make sure I can still listen. There we go. It's got a shade on, sweet Georgia Brown. Two left feet, but oh so neat as sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for sweet Georgia Brown. I tell you why.
And at the end of that break, we're going to do the Banjo Club and the Ukulele Players Club. And we're going to also have the raffle drawing, so stick around and please get yourself something to eat now, starting on the right, and take a look at the 2 cakes we have. And on the drawing are going to be about 300 items, plus a can of $80 potato chips.